What's going on, the Nova Squad? Hey, so before we get started, I want to say thank you to Josh to send me the actual link to actually watching today's video. If you guys actually have any video requests, make sure you actually go send it to me under novalord52.gmail.com with how do you say it? Well, I'll just make sure I actually put it right in the description so you guys can actually go watch it. Yeah, anyway, so enjoy the video.
What is your take on Trump? Is Trump a racist?
I don't think so. I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. He gave them a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check. But
You know what? I find it so interesting when like you got all of these people who would actually try to say that Trump is a racist or like, but like you got just like Joe Brown has said is like there's a lot of black entrepreneurs who actually went to Trump that actually helped him out. Now, granted for me, I never actually have met the man, so this is their story. So we gotta continue on watching it and say
they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" I said, "Yeah." And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business.
And this was when?
This was back in the 90s. See, most people don't even know this. He had a sister. He was, every time you saw him back in the 90s, fine paper bag, brown, beautiful black model. He likes fine women. He didn't have any problem with dating a black woman, walking her down red carpets. So, I mean, she says he's not a racist. He just doesn't like many people, black or white. And he appreciates people who do stuff within their lane. Well, not stay in their lane, but where they choose to be. If they do it well, he admires them. Black, white, brown, red, yellow. Most people don't know this. He was the finance man behind Jesse Jackson's 2 runs for president.
Wow.
So, he talks, but I don't mind somebody talking. I think we've gotten too sensitive to that. That's part of the effeminization of the country. I remember in junior high and high school, hey, man, I won't say nothing, man, but last night when I saw your mama, man, you don't know I was over there because you was asleep, man. But blah, 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 blah. We ran to dozens. That was our sport. So we were used to talking about each other. Now, man, he talking about my mama, man. What's wrong with you?
Do you think Trump will get reelected?
I think he's going to get reelected. This impeachment mess we've got right now, there's a thing called the U.S. Constitution, and the Constitution says the president is the chief diplomatic officer of the United States. It puts no limits on his discretion. It simply says that if he comes up with any treaties, they have to be ratified by the Senate. If a treaty is ratified by the Senate, it becomes part of the supreme law of the land.
is the Senate Democrat or they're just like right in the middle of it because like I mean even that he has been indicted like at least like 4 to 5 times in different states, and yeah, he is also arrested and everything, and then like it has been getting like a real backfire of everything because now like Trump is more popular than ever, especially towards his mugshot picture, because like that is like I remember Ben Shapiro actually created a short. He said now like they had created the most iconic mugshot ever, even though having a mugshot is pointless and everything because everyone knows who Donald Trump is. So it just
The president and other elected and appointed officials are under oath required to follow the law of the land. The State Department, Secretary of State are part of his cabinet and are essentially advisors to the president. He's the boss. So what he does relative to Biden is simply what is allowed and mandated by the Constitution, specifically Article 1, Section 8, that says the president is charged with, quote, enforcing the law of nations. We have an Interpol treaty with various European states, and also one specifically with the Ukraine that requires that we basically investigate, apprehend, prosecute, extradite criminal elements and criminality. So Biden, out of his own mouth, and I've heard this tape twice, January this year, he says, well, 2019, he says, I guess I broke some laws, extortion. I told the Ukrainians if they didn't get rid of this
the prosecutor.
Prosecutor's name is Skola,
the
I think.
anti-corruption prosecutor.
Yeah, he said if you don't get
Ukraine,
rid of him, we'd withhold $85 billion in loan guarantees. So his son, who had just been discharged for the military for being a junkie, had a drug problem, had no history in business. He affiliates with this, and at the time, Biden was in charge of the U.S.'s Ukrainian posture and relations. Obama had assigned him that.
And you're wondering why we are not investigating Biden's son. Even after like everyone knows his background, his story about him going overseas and being a junkie, possibly his daughter as well, if I can actually recall that. But anyways, no one is actually questioning Joe. You know what? That actually reminds me, because I've actually did a video when they actually have found drugs inside of the White House, but they were acting like they don't even know where it came from, even though there's plenty of bugs, and then there's plenty of cameras inside of the White House, and then no one even doesn't even know it, huh? But then his son was showing a video and pictures like he was walking in and out of the White House. And they don't know? Okay.
And by implication, he brought Obama into committing a crime in office, which is a felony. It's extortion. He committed one, extortion, by out of his own mouth, threatening to withhold $85 billion in loan guarantees if they didn't get rid of this prosecutor, who was zeroing in on that corporation that his son had just been hired to represent after Biden Sr. had been assigned by the president the task of dealing with Ukrainian diplomacy. So son gets $18.5 million out of it, and he has no background other than a dishonorable discharge from the armed services for drug abuse.
But one last question. Do you think black people are missing an opportunity with Trump?
Oh, yeah. See, you've got somebody that is not a lifetime Republican. He's been a blue dog Democrat for most of his life. He usurped the Republican Party. So I think this thing I've been tweeting about, no benefit, no vote, ought to be the deal. We haven't gotten a damn thing out of the Democratic Party for a long time. And the last one, number 44, and the one before that, 43, Bush and Obama, well, there are pictures of Bush with his arm around 8-year-old Barack Obama, because his stepdaddy, adopted daddy, Lolo Sotoro, had done a lifetime worth of business with the Bushes.
Wow.
Uncle George Herbert Walker, after whom George Herbert Walker Bush, Bush 1 president, was named, founded Halliburton in 1946 in Oklahoma. And Lolo Sotoro had been international executive vice president for Standard Oil.
There was talk of him being a CIA asset.
Well, yeah,
Indonesia.
see, he ran the death squads for the Indonesian army. On his own call, anyone could be assassinated. So when George Herbert Walker Bush became head of the CIA under the Ford administration, he just got with his old buddy in the oil business, Lolo Sotoro, and pulled off the hits. See, Barack's grandmother has been acknowledged as being the woman that operated the channels through which CIA money went to the Southwest Pacific. So she introduced her daughter, who had just had Barry, Barack, to Lolo Soetoro, and they got married, and Lolo Soetoro adopted Barack Obama. The name was changed to Barry Soetoro. Now, when he went to high school in Hawaii, I know about that high school. I almost sent my oldest son to it. I could afford it, but I didn't think he deserved it. 20 years ago, the tuition was $95,000 a year, not including room and board. When Obama went there, I've talked to two of his classmates. They independently state that the tuition, not including room and board, was $45,000. Now, Business Insider reports his income for 2017 at over $200 million net. That's after taxes, deductions, write-offs. For this last year, 2018, they reported it as $570+ million. And that's after all deductions, tax, right? Trump doesn't make that net. I mean, even some of the richest people in America don't make that. Why? Because when his stepdaddy died, he was one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. And he left everything in a trust fund operated out of Indonesia, so the American government can't touch it. That makes Barack Obama 1/3 beneficiary for the assets of one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. See, so we got a game run on us. So, you know that little thing that Bush W does when he gets with Michelle, they giggle and he gives her candy. The inside thing is that's supposed to be the same kind of candy he used to give to her husband when he was 6, 7, 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna do my own research because that's a lot of information. That's a whole lot of information. That's crazy. What? What? I'm. Wait. I knew about the whole Trump thing. They're trying to bring him off of the Republican run, but I didn't know about the whole about Barack's grandmother being involved with the CIA, or whatever. But that's crazy. I never knew that. That's crazy. That is crazy information, man. For real. You know what, Josh? Again, thank you for sending me the video, man. I really actually enjoyed it. I will make sure I actually do my own research, trying to actually formulate what is going on, because that's crazy as crap. Honestly, that's crazy. Yeah, I knew about Trump. I knew about Biden's son and all the extra stuff. That's crazy, man. But anyways, if you guys really enjoyed this reaction today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comment section down below which we tweet out to next. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, my name is Nova, and I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.